Hey, what's shaking? This is Sonny in the 419. I'm here in the big town of Sandusky. I love Sandusky. And I'm with Kevin, the wine merchant.
Yes,
How you
indeed.
doing, man?
A pleasure. Yeah, I became a wine professional as a result of operating a fine dining restaurant in Columbus.
When you say fine dining, are you talking like Italian restaurant?
No, see, the thing is, it was very eclectic. I know that word is overused, but she largely drew from Mediterranean Rim cuisine, but also included things like enchilada sauce. But everything was made from scratch to order. You know, we weren't opening cans of things. Right. It was like she and the sous chef bounced around ideas. It was really a pretty interesting thing to be part of. And the menu changed, like I said, every day. And I got to pick the wine that went with each course for the tasting menu that we offered every day. And it was her namesake restaurant, and one day she said, "We're never going to change unless we sell this restaurant." And she was offered consulting work on a vacation that we took to Belize, and that's what triggered the sale of the restaurant, because she couldn't do that consulting work and still operate the restaurant. So she hired a broker, we sold the restaurant, she went and did her little consulting job. Next thing you know, she gets a call from someone in the governor's office who says, "If you're interested in being the chef at the governor's residence, call this number." So she called that number, and they hired her at the governor's residence in Bexley. And she did that for over a year until the pandemic said, no more events at the governor's residence. Now she does private dinners in people's homes. And I've been watching my little hometown of Sandusky, which was sorely lacking a retail wine shop. Yes. And the one thing I learned in those 18 years of buying wine and tasting wine is where the grapes are grown is the most important thing. So I don't have a shelf of Chardonnay. I have Chardonnay from California and broken down into specific places in California. Oregon Chardonnay. I have some Chardonnay from Burgundy, France over there. They're distinctly different because where the grapes are grown is the deal.
Wow. What's your favorite wine?
You don't have a favorite wine.
You like them all.
Depends on who I'm with, what I'm eating, music I'm listening to. All these factors come into play. I have been privileged to have tasted thousands and thousands of wines that it sometimes makes you think. And I never knew that was even a possibility.
Now, what's the most, since you've had a lot of wine, what's the most expensive bottle
that I've ever tasted?
Opened up?
Well, it was kind of by accident. It was a very exclusive bottle. When we sold the restaurant, the seller of the restaurant had all this wine that instantly became our property. Okay. And we were drinking some of these $1,000+ bottles of wine and realized shortly after that that's a mortgage payment. And so we sold a lot of those wines at auction in California, most of which came from California. And this one in particular we shipped to sell. It was a very exclusive bottle of wine. We were allocated as a restaurant one bottle. And I saw online that bottle, was going for, on the internet, for some $4,000 a bottle. So I thought, well, we'll sell that and we'll have a little extra spending cash. And something happened with the little capsule on the top. It came off during shipping, so provenance was lost. And the seller, the auction house, they shipped it back and said, well, we can't sell it because provenance is lost. We don't know if that cork has been taken out, some kind of wine put back in. So they shipped it back, and we ended up drinking it with a friend of ours. Elena made some real nice rack of lamb dinner, and it was pretty spectacular.
Wow, that sounds...
I certainly would not spend...
From the highs and lows.
Yeah.
How many bottles of wine do you have in here, you think?
In here, I probably have 300 or 400 bottles, individual bottles of wine at any given time.
Some good names, too, I see. Wow.
And a lot of just smaller producers. Usually smaller producers of things make higher quality things. And usually for the price. And that's one of the things I've learned in now 20-odd years I've been a wine professional, is by tasting wine regionally I can tell what it's supposed to, be or represent. And in particular what the price is. Sometimes the importer or the distributor, they think it's worth more than it is. And I give my opinion and I buy what I think is a good deal for whoever wants to come in here and tell me what they like.
Wow. You know, I love wine, but it sounds like you're a professional at it.
Well, I've been doing it a long time. I do consider myself a wine professional. I have a lot of colleagues in the business. I've been to many trade tastings, and we all...
Have you been like a judge anywhere?
Only one time, early on in the restaurant days, my wife and I were invited to judge an Ohio versus Michigan wine thing. And across the board, and everyone that was a judge there kind of agreed that all these wines kind of sucked.
Did they?
Yeah. They're getting better.
I'm sure they
Ohio
are, yeah.
wines and Michigan wines, all these Midwest, especially lake regions that we have, they're really good, cool climate regions for those kinds of varietals, which is being realized, you know, more and more in the last 10 years, 15 years in particular, instead of making just Catawba, pink, sweet, uninteresting wines by my taste, I guess, and more and more people's as it happens. So, yeah.
Oh, interesting. So where are you located at here? In case anybody wants to come down here.
211 West Water Street in downtown Sandusky, Ohio.
Yeah, right out your window you can see the water.
The Jackson Street Pier, newly renovated Jackson Street Pier. They have events in the summertime, weekly, bi-weekly.
$1 million view. Right?
It's really a great location, and it's a real comfortable spot to just come in and have a couple glasses of wine and a
So somebody could
snack.
come in and drink wine here?
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of places I know you can't drink there, but
Yeah, you know, when I first opened, for the first 3 years, it was carry-out only.
Okay.
And I waited my turn in line to get a permit to consume on premise, so now I can offer wine by the glass. I do have the obligatory cheese snacks and, you know, other such things, just little snack things, no
Now,
meal.
do you ever have anybody that, once they have like a group come in?
Yeah, well, I've done many groups, yeah, tastings and classes and things. I like to promote mine as a daily wine tasting instead of like the first Tuesday of every month.
Right.
Because I have the freedom to, if you walk in, by yourself or with friends, I don't care. We can go, let's try some California Pinot Noirs. You know, let's try Old World versus New World. Let's try a Chardonnay from Burgundy versus a Chardonnay from California. Instant wine tasting, basically.
I'm going to remember that then.
Yeah,
Come down
it's easy to remember if it's daily. If I'm open, you can pop in and taste wine.
Yeah.
And the wines that I've selected by the glass, they're already open, so you can taste those before committing to a glass and so on.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right,
it is kind of nice.
Sounds great, Kevin.
It's a nice,
Thanks for your time,
nice
man.
gig. Oh, you're welcome.
I'm definitely going to get back down here.
Yeah, I think more and more people are, and will continue.
All right. Thank you, sir.